Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Post Game Live. I'm your host, Big Mike. We are here after Knicks Pacers Game 5, but this wouldn't be Post Game Live without me hitting the music. We're going to let the music play as we bring in the rest of the team because I can't do this alone. We got the man producer, podcast Bobby in the building.
We're here.
Anthony in the building.
We definitely here.
You see it on the screen. Knicks in 6. Knicks are here. Knicks with a big bounce back victory tonight at the Garden in Game 5. Eastern Conference semis. Knicks win by 1 million. We love it. Big Body Brunson, as he's been called in the streets, went off again. 42, I believe he had tonight.
44, I think.
44. He had 30 shots. I'm not crazy about
35 shots.
I'm not crazy about that, but it was effective.
That's the Knicks offense.
And it was
he was a little tired at the end, so I'll give him a pass on some of those shots. Like
the Knicks offense is Jalen Brunson and Prey, and then get the offensive rebound.
That wasn't the offense tonight.
What are you talking about?
Alec Burke making baskets. Deuce McBride.
Alec Burks was doing his thing, but again, you guys had 1 million offensive rebounds.
We did have 1 million offensive rebounds.
And that's the offense.
Hartenstein was on fire.
That's what I'm saying.
Jalen Brunson and Prey. Get in the gym.
It's Jalen Brunson and Prey to grab offensive rebounds. Like that's, and you get easy shots off offensive rebounds. You guys had fucking 20 offensive rebounds.
Hartenstein had 12, I believe.
12 of them.
Like.
And then how do you get easy 3-point shots for your Alec Burks and for Deuce McBride and all those guys? Second chance opportunities off the offensive boards. It's Reggie Miller pointed out Game 2, and it's the truest statement told. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. Again, 35 shots is fucking crazy. That guy tried to score 70 tonight.
There are quite a few of those he should have probably passed up on. I will say that.
To be honest,
I'm not gonna kill a man who dropped 40. Like
I don't even think he should have passed up on those because he takes all the shots in flow.
Yeah,
exactly how he wants. He doesn't take bad shots.
And
all of his shots are exactly where he wants them to be.
They put that rookie on him. Oh, the what's the lighted Krispy
Kreme?
Kreme?
He fucking hates Nimhard.
When they put him on him, the Krispy Kreme
hot and ready sign.
Hot and ready was on. The light was blinking. We went because
I was like, bro, why are they just still having this dude in the game? Why are they doing this to this poor kid, man? Take this man out the game.
There's something about Rick Carlisle coaching in Madison Square Garden where he just forgets what basketball is. He just absolutely forgets what basketball is and how it's supposed to be coached, because every game that I've seen the Pacers play in Madison Square Garden this playoffs has been a complete shit show. A complete shit show where they don't know what they're doing. Pascal Siakam just keeps proving to me that he's exactly who I thought he was. A fucking bum. Like their offense was run at the basket, go back to the top of the key, pass it, run back at the basket, go back,
spin move to the right. It's all of it. Spin move to the right.
It's so bad. Pascal Siakam is the fucking worst star in basketball.
Like I've been telling James for years, stop calling that man Spicy P. There's nothing. He is mild. That is what he is. Mild P.
I still think he's an all-star. I think he's on the lower echelon, definitely like the lowest, but I still think he's an all-star.
He is free all-star.
He is the lowest tier all-star, but I would still call him all-star.
He's all-star in the sense of you don't really have a lot of options. So you got a forward to get there. So you got to pick one. Yeah, he scores points, but he stinks. He's fucking bad.
If that's why Toronto stinks, because when he's the best player on the team, you stink.
When they won that title in 2019, he was the fifth best player on the team.
Right.
You just got to focus on defense. I still don't understand why Carlisle hasn't been like, yo, Siakam. Try it. Try it. Because Nembhard, not working. Naismith, it's not working.
Barely
but
working.
He's forcing tough shots. But Brunson is a tough shot taker, tough shot maker, plays in his game, plays at his pace. Every shot he takes is a good shot. That's just it. Naismith makes it harder. Who's Siakam guarding?
Josh Hart.
Why does the 6'10" guy need to be guarding 6'4" Josh Hart?
And not boxing him out.
That's
the comedy of it. You would think that the logic behind it is we'll put a bigger body on him so he can't crash the boards. And guess what? Now I heard an interesting little tidbit from Stan Van Gundy, who I thought was amazing tonight.
He was great.
Josh Hart hasn't had an offensive rebound since game 2. So, yeah. I mean, it's working.
He's doing a lot of tipping to, Hartenstein.
He is keeping a lot of possessions.
He's keeping them alive. So, he may not be credited for the board, but if he's not in the middle of it, those boards don't happen. And Hartenstein got 3 of them tonight because of him.
Because he did get one off of his own missed 3 and a putback, which was – there's no way I'm not playing that film in film study, because how did you shoot a 3, get your own rebound and a putback
in a playoff game
and run past 3 Pacers to do it?
Knowing Carlisle, he's just gonna ignore it.
And they're gonna get ran off the floor in Indiana, because I'm telling you right now, if they play with that energy, the Knicks are gonna run them off the floor.
I mean, it was their get back, right? Because game 4 was exactly what this was, in the opposite side. So I said to Chaz that we had 3 close games and 2 ass whoopings.
So you would think that means we're going to get 2 more close games.
You think so, or they're
gonna watch that too.
Hoping is you get what the home teams are supposed to do, and that's protect home court. And shout out to the crowd at the Garden, because the crowd didn't shut up. They were
alive
off the rip,
alive.
They were. It was miserable. Like the Pacers, it's one thing to be losing. It's one thing to be losing and then not be able to hear anything.
And it's one thing to be losing and not be able to hear anything and have 20,000 people yelling at you and telling you stink. And that Garden crowd was in every play. Every time the Pacers did anything wrong, that crowd was yelling. The
Knicks went on 5 different 14-0 runs.
That's what it felt like.
And it's just they went 8 straight minutes without scoring a point in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That was wow.
Me and Anthony were sitting there, and it came. Miles Turner hit 3 straight threes from the same spot, and me and Anthony was like, "What is going on?" Tibbs called a timeout. They didn't score again. They didn't score again. I don't know what Tibbs said to him. They didn't score another point for 8 minutes.
He gave Hartenstein the dead stick. That's what he did.
For this game. We can be up 30 if you're playing.
That man rested Brunson for 31 seconds and then put him back in
again. Too, because we were watching it and I called it.
He does the strategic breaks where he takes it, he pulls him with a minute and a half left in the quarter, or 30 seconds of the quarter. So they get that time, you get the timeout break time for commercials, and then you get a little bit of time before tip off. So that 30 seconds of break turns into 5 minutes.
He was on the bench and the Pacers scored 6 quick. And Anthony was like, all right, just let him hold a little bit. I was like,
was it 6 or 4?
No, they got no, because remember I said as soon as they cut it to 7, that's it. And
it wasn't even 7; it was 9.
As soon as they cut it to 9, it was like, that's it, that's it.
No, because I think we were up at 13. They scored 4 points. Tibbs put him back in.
Tibbs was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Tibbs was like, absolutely not. Timeout. That's it.
Jalen Brunson's game, Hartenstein's offensive rebounds, and Burke's corner threes. Those were the 3 biggest takeaways for us this game. Just absolutely.
Brunson got the 40, and that's going to be the story. But again, I felt like this was just a team win. Like everybody.
This definitely was this absolutely was a team win. Because like me and Mike were saying, if Burks and McBride can get 10 to 15, if we can get 10 to 15 out of those two guys, Josh Hart will be Josh Hart. Get his double. I would prefer that Brunson doesn't need to score 40 just for us to win, but. I mean, I'm not complaining.
He keeps scoring 40.
Well, besides like this game, the Knicks have been involved in like 6-point games the entire playoffs.
Me and Anthony were saying that like every game was like
every game is
touchdown game. So
every game is close, and every game
felt refreshing.
Jalen Brunson needing to score 30 plus
40,
and he has been. That's the crazy thing. He has been,
and he has been. And I said this in the chat when Roz was trying to say OG Anunoby scoring 18 points a game is just unsustainable. Everything the Knicks do is unsustainable until it's not.
I would say, but here's the thing, Dylan.
It's sustainable until it isn't.
It just keeps working.
Because logically, it's not supposed to. You're not supposed to be playing these guys like.
I'm so glad you're going to say that.
Everybody in the playoffs plays every minute, right?
Because Stan Van Gundy
having these guys play every minute for the last month and a half before the playoffs.
Stan Van Gundy debunked that whole the Knicks are playing too many minutes. He debunked the whole thing by everyone's doing it.
Everybody does it every year.
Luka's playing 30 plus minutes on one knee.
The difference is Tibbs is doing it in the regular season.
Kyrie's playing 41 minutes right now a night. 41. Kyrie doesn't sit.
Tibbs has had them playing 40-something minutes a game before the playoffs. That's why this is problematic.
Well, that's why they can do it.
I get it, and we criticize Tibbs for doing it, but like I understand it. But like it shouldn't be, especially the way the Knicks play. It's not the fact that they're just playing 40-something minutes. Like Luka and Kyrie are playing 40-something minutes, but they only play offense. They don't play defense. It's very easy to just go out there and be like, yeah, sure, I'll play the whole game. I'll give no effort on defense.
Let me give Kyrie credit. Kyrie has been playing defense.
Well, yeah, because he's also not playing offense.
I was saying
Kyrie's like, you got this to get.
There's a false narrative in here that I hate Kyrie, and I don't hate Kyrie.
He's literally averaging 12 points a game, so like we gotta pick and choose what we're doing here. So if you're picking both sides, if you're playing both sides of the ball 40-something minutes, like Josh Hart is, that shouldn't be sustainable.
He actually got some rest today.
He did.
Yeah, he got a good amount of rest today.
I don't know. I was telling Anthony, I don't know who this Alec Burke guy is, but he is the Pacers. It's almost like the Pacers don't know he's on the team, and it's like they don't know how to go, like they've never seen him before.
This isn't the sleep paralysis demon we all thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
Because I remember a not so distant past where when Alec Burks was on the court, y'all were like, kill him with fire. Kill him with fire. Like he was Frankenstein walking through the village. Forks and torches. Get him out of here.
What a difference a week makes.
Fickle.
And we get 2 days rest. The team gets 2 days rest. Except for DiVincenzo, his ass needs to be in the gym shooting, working on his shot, get his shot back, because we're going to need his ass for game 6. But, I'm happy that we get some rest. Like,
yeah, Anthony said he doesn't want game 7. I'm kind of with him. I
don't want game 7, period. I love our crowd. I love Madison Square Garden. I don't want to see game 7.
Basketball deserves it.
Honestly, we should have got a game 7 in the Philly series. That series deserved to go 7.
Adam Silver didn't.
What series?
The Philly series. That series
the Phillies
should have went 7. But
Adam Silver didn't
Joel Embiid's a choke artist, so there that goes. Yeah, I said it.
Adam Silver needs to do the David Stern thing. Put the fix in. Force game 7, so we get the first game 7 since what, 99? In the
We've
Garden.
gotten one Game 7 this postseason. It's been the Cavs and the fucking Magic.
Yeah, let's get it in the Garden. The Garden games. Give it. David Stern will be rolling in his grave if we don't get one.
Both West series got 7 written all over it. They both got 7 all over.
This needs it. This needs 7. I need that Garden crowd.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
I'll be fine with 6.
Looking in, I need it.
That's fine for you.
I mean, I can't argue with that because if I was a neutral spectator, I would want a 7.
Yeah,
I would want 7 games for this series.
Very good series. Very good series. We want that.
I feel like the Knicks have been the most entertaining team in the playoffs.
It's because their style of play.
It's just been
effort. Effort is fun to watch.
Our 2 series have been the most entertaining series. Like,
if the Magic Cavs series had like more star power in it, then
or been on TV.
That was actually a very underrated series. Like,
well, we wouldn't know. It wasn't on TV.
Oh, I'm pretty sure only me and Dylan watched it.
Yeah, act like y'all ain't got NBA TV, man.
We were probably
I'm pretty sure me and Dylan
all of the audience for that series.
That's why me and Dylan were all in. We was like, yeah, Game 7 gonna be, this gonna be good. And then
I was like, why is this Celtics series on TV? But this Magic Cavs series isn't.
Because we all knew what Boston was gonna do. Like
what's happening here?
Even now, why are we wasting our time?
Get that series off TV. I don't need to see it.
Why are we wasting our time? We know what's going to happen.
Nah, chill. I need something to keep me entertained after work, man. I need something to watch. Shit.
Yeah, not that. You watch it and you're mad you're watching it.
Like, that is such a terrible appetizer before OKC and Dallas, because
all this
wake me up when that game starts.
All this Cavaliers series is Donovan Mitchell just like his mixtape to send to every team. Hey,
to be fair, Darius Garland actually showed up last game,
and they lost. So who fucking cares?
And they lost.
Why do I care about that? Show up when you're needed to. Don't show up in these games where you're losing. That's just empty. It's a nothing burger of stats.
Empty calories.
And the Cleveland's a little banged up. I mean, I heard Jared Allen barely can move his fucking arm either. So he's
here's what would happen in Boston. They would rotate him and switch him on everything in the perimeter. And Jared Allen's not a great perimeter defender, and he's already hurt. So they would just be taking turns shooting threes on him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jaylen Brown would be cooking Jared Allen
except for when he goes left, because all too many times this series I've watched that man dribble off his foot when he goes.
I'm really man. I can't wait to see if the Knicks can get to Boston. I can't wait to see how the Knicks play defense on them, because that's the final boss. That's all of this that Tibbs has had to do. All of this, they're going to need every ounce of it to beat that team, especially if Porzingis comes back. Because if
Porzingis will be back.
If he comes back, boy,
he presents major.
But hey, if OG comes back, don't expect
OG back. That's been my biggest advice to every Knick fan possible that I know. Don't expect OG back, and if you expect him back, don't expect him to do anything. Those hamstring injuries are the worst. I watched it firsthand. I watched James Harden play on a hamstring injury, and I wish he didn't. And OG is a hustle player who needs that wheel. He will not be the same player that he's playing. So don't expect him back.
Yeah.
There's that.
That's just the advice of a fan who's dealt with it. Temper the expectations. Don't do it. Just roll.
So, Mike, like I said, if we, I would say Game 2, Game 3 of the NBA Finals, we should be expecting OG back.
Don't expect him back at all.
If the Knicks got to the finals, I would expect him back.
I wouldn't.
That's Dylan. That's still 3 weeks.
Dylan, that's weeks.
That's 3 weeks from now.
All it takes is one bad step on a hamstring. That's all it takes is one bad step if it doesn't heal.
And he's got 3 months to heal.
That's why it's like I don't fuck with the hamstrings, man. Don't fuck with them. Because all it takes, once you tweak it once, it's ready to tweak again. Don't do it. Don't expect nothing. Especially with the way Tibbs plays, guys. He's like, oh, you're 70%, 40 minutes. 40 minutes. I was about to throw a fit with. I said in the chat, I was like, "Why are the starters still in?" I thought Tibbs was doing that thing with 3 minutes left, up 20. Oh yeah, we're leaving the starters in. Why? Don't do that. Don't do that. And then he promptly packed everybody up.
He was like, "All right, they quit. Y'all can sit down now."
They said Carlisle started waving the white flag, and Tibbs was like, "No, no."
And that's exactly in an elimination game. They wouldn't have came out if that was Game 6 with the Knicks with a chance to clinch. They're not coming out. The Knicks would have to be up 30.
The white flag gets
waved.
Well, if they wave the white flag, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think Carlisle would have waved the white flag in an
That's
elimination.
He wouldn't have waved the white flag.
Game 6, 2 days rest. All them starters is playing 48. They all playing 48 on Friday.
I was telling Anthony, I just need the Knicks to withstand the first 5 minutes of the game.
They're going to punch us in the mouth. They are going to come out and punch us.
They're going to give everything they got in that first 5 minutes. If we are still standing there, they're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
They're in trouble.
Hopefully, y'all put some of that energy that you got from the Garden tonight, put in a little backpack to bring with you.
Well, because we were talking about the best home court advantage in the NBA, and I had to be honest. I said Indiana has one of the best home courts.
Nah, it's the Garden.
I think so. That field house is loud, Dylan.
Not the best.
Not the best, but it's one of the best. That place gets loud.
You can have a great home court advantage, but your team isn't as good as they are.
But the way that they play, that's how you would get a crowd in a game. But
yeah, that crowd,
run and score. It can get loud quick. So
that's why the Knicks are a great matchup for them because the Knicks literally can play half court. The Pacers cannot.
That's why the Pacers can't beat Boston.
That's why the Pacers really can't beat most of these teams and got lucky that there was injuries in Milwaukee. If there wasn't injuries in Milwaukee, they would have got dog walked.
Because Dame surely dropped 40 on there.
and Dame was missing games with his Achilles.
That's what I'm saying. If they was healthy, I'm pretty sure they would have lost because Dame surely showed us before he got hurt. Yeah, I can score on y'all whenever I want. Just so you know. Whenever I feel like it. If Giannis plays, he's running through Siakam's chest. He's running through.
He's knocking on a couple teeth. He's traveling while he's doing it and not getting called. There's nothing I wanted more than for Giannis to get healthy, beat the Pacers, and then have to root against Giannis, calling every travel that he does. If we thought Embiid was public enemy number one, Mike would have hated Giannis. Mike would have hated it. He's like, that's an offensive foul. He's traveling. He's got luggage with him. He's traveling so much.
I'm not even I'm kind of happy we dodged Milwaukee.
Milwaukee would have packed you guys up.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not even going to answer that.
Them healthy and us hurt? Is that because, okay.
It would have been how it is right now.
No, but how it is right now.
Without OG? We're assuming OG gets hurt in that series?
Regardless if OG played or not, y'all would have got
OG.
Well, we don't know. With a healthy OG, I would take this.
I'm betting on my guys.
Of course you are.
I would say 7. I would say 6-7 games, but with OG, I think we could beat them.
We would have still had home court, Dylan. I'm betting on my guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. We still would have had home court.
And Giannis would have still Giannis'd his way to every fucking free throw and offensive foul and all that stuff. And you guys would be Knick fans would hate
Mitch
him.
Would still be here. I'm taking my
hate
guys.
him.
Taking my
but actually, I don't know if Mitch would still be here because Embiid still would have done what he did in the first round. So actually, Mitch wouldn't be there.
Still taking my guys.
The Bucks would have been a nasty matchup because these 3-point shooting centers give you guys a problem.
Until Tibbs yells.
And Splash Mountain's out there, so you have to guard him.
The greatest net of all time?
Not even close. Not even remotely close.
Greatest net of all time?
Not even remotely close. But yeah, you have to respect a 40% 3-point shooter.
His jersey should be retired by you guys. Greatest net
right.
of all time. Greatest
Yeah,
net
right.
Of all time.
Yeah, right. We're about to retire Vince Carter's jersey.
Maybe number 2. Dr. J, then Brooke Lopez right there.
Jason Kidd?
Nope.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
fucking right.
Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, right.
Brooke
Goodbye,
Lopez.
sir. Goodbye.
Brooke Lopez.
You know, I was listening to The Fan the other day.
Why?
Because why not?
That's so 1998 of you.
On my drive home? Fucking why not?
So 1998 of you.
Great.
It's all about
ESPN
4. New York.
I was 4.
All about ESPN New York.
Great. I was listening to Evan Roberts, resident Net fan.
Look at that. Hack.
Resident Net fan Evan Roberts. And he made a good point of saying that this Knicks team reminds him of that 02 Nets team. Very much. Carried by the point guard who's doing everything in his power to do it. You have great effort by your role players, hustling in and out. The parallels are very crazy. Where Jalen Brunson's just Jason Kidd.
I would say this Knicks team is this is the 99 Knicks all over again. You just substitute Jalen Brunson with Latrell Sprewell. That's all. That's the only difference. But it's the same thing. Injuries, and this team is just willing and grinding its way to everything, and you don't know how they're doing it, but they're just doing it. And then they run into a Twin Towers team, and they just don't have enough bodies, because I will go to my grave. If Patrick Ewing was healthy, the Knicks beat that Spurs team.
Nope.
But he wasn't. And Marcus Camby was not ready for Tim Duncan.
I don't know. We did get swept.
Here's what I'll say to that.
Not ready for that.
We got swept like a motherfucker.
Chris Dudley was not ready for that. Chris Dudley was not the one for that shit.
You guys have not let me have if James Harden and Kyrie Irving didn't get hurt, we would have won. You guys don't let me get that. You guys don't let me get that.
To be fair, Mike, we never let Dylan get it.
You never let me get that.
Fair, we never.
You guys lose, or you talk about the 99 series. Nope, didn't happen. Not happening. You guys still would have lost. So no matter what happens there, I'm not letting you guys have that, because I can't have, one of the greatest big threes of all time offensively who actually gelled together and work. If they were healthy, wouldn't have ran away with it.
Dylan, you know who this is?
I do. That is
you know who that guy is?
Batman.
I'm about to say, do you know who he is? Because
I know who that is.
Where has he been?
It's Batman.
Haven't seen him since that fantasy draft, right? We haven't heard of Pete.
Riley and 6.
Haven't heard of Pete. Where did he come from?
Pat Riley and 6.
Heat culture.
Heat culture.
They'd still be playing if Jimmy was healthy. That's
yeah,
what Jimmy
fucking
says.
right.
That's what Jimmy says. They'd still
yeah, Pat Riley told him to shut the fuck up. He said, "Oh, Jimmy, you'll be on the first plane ticket to Toronto."
Stupid ass.
That team is about to blow up.
Well, the problem is they signed Terry Rozier to that extension. I don't know why Pat Riley did that, but hey, we'll take it, because now they signed Terry Rozier to that money. They gave Tyler Hero his money already. They still got to give Bam. They still got to give Bam his money.
Well, Bam got paid the rookie max extension, and Jimmy's a free agent.
And isn't Bam a free agent next year?
But they'll take care of Bam.
Jimmy's a free agent.
Where they gonna get the
money? I think Bam's available for an extension this offseason, actually.
So Jimmy and Bam are on the same boat.
Yeah. I think Jimmy wants that max contract. It's like 2 years, 113, something like that.
They're gonna send Jimmy to Philly, and
he's 35.
A nightmare.
Well, he's 30. Well, he's 30. He's 34. He's gonna be 35 in September, I think, some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm not giving Jimmy that.
Sheen, I mean,
sorry,
yeah.
And Pat Riley is notorious for letting older Heat players walk at this age.
He let Dwayne Wade go and then brought him back.
He let Alonzo go at this age. He let Wade go at this age. He gonna let Jimmy go at this age, and then bring them back like he did everybody else. Right at the end of his
Hero
career.
Contract is a bad one because he's
Alonzo Morty gets brought back at 40. Dwayne Wade gets brought back at 40.
Tyler Hero, that dude is so allergic to defense.
I mean, most players are, Anthony.
Yeah, especially Tyler Hero.
I was saying Jalen Brunson also is allergic to defense.
Good one, Anthony. No, Dylan. That was good. And I give it.
Jalen Brunson is the reason you guys lost game 3. By letting Nembhard get that fucking step back 3 on a bobble.
Man, the hell with that nonsense.
He bobbled the ball. Like what else?
He bobbled it, and he still didn't play defense on him.
He contested the shot.
From 34,
that was as lucky
he did not contest the shot.
That's as lucky a shot as you're gonna get.
And he let him have
Seriously.
it.
And he played awful the whole game too. He wasn't doing anything offensively the whole game.
And letting Dame shoot that. It's a bad shot. He made it.
They don't seem to be hunting Jalen.
That's the difference between Dame shooting that type of shot and fucking Nembhard, all right?
I like Jalen Brunson. And you're a Heat fan. What are you talking about?
He's speaking the truth. What do you mean? I'm
a Jalen Brunson fan. I enjoy Jalen Brunson, but I will be real here because nobody else here will be when it comes to these things.
You will not be real. You will just give hate as you usually do.
I hated on Jalen Brunson
all the time.
I hated on Jalen Brunson at any point this season.
Your last statement was Jalen Brunson is top 5 in the league in charges taken. You don't just do that. You don't just do that.
That doesn't mean you're a good defender.
That means you're a smart defender. That's what it means.
Does that mean you're a good defender?
Yes. You can't be.
So that means Patty Mills is a great defender.
Was Patty Mills in the top 5 in charges?
Patty Mills, his first year on the Nets, led the NBA in charges.
Okay.
So he's a good defender? He's a good defender? No, see, Mike, stop.
How many years ago was that?
2. What are we doing?
3. So Patty Mills is how old right now?
Old as fuck.
So that point means nothing. Like he's old now. I'm not gonna say because
he was old then. He was old then.
Clearly he wasn't.
Patty Mills was old then.
Clearly he wasn't.
That doesn't just because you led the NBA in charges doesn't mean you're not old.
Smart defender.
I'm a Miami Heat fan from New York talking about a Philadelphia college. Stop it.
There will be no slander for the Nova Knicks, all right?
The Philadelphia Nova Knicks.
The Nova Knicks. We're going to get it trademarked.
Yo, this Wolves Nuggets series is so weird. The Wolves are just playing really well right now.
I want to talk about how Mike said that this Timberwolves team is in trouble. This Timberwolves team is not in trouble.
What do you mean?
You said it the OKC game. You said, "Oh, this series just got interesting because they tied it up." Meanwhile, Ant was over there in trouble. His team is not in trouble. They're in a competitive series against the NBA champions.
They are going to lose tonight, and then they will be on the brink of elimination, which is the definition of trouble.
This is a tie game, and
the Wolves are up right now. The Wolves are up right now.
Don't lose.
Then they will be in control.
The series is currently tied. You're Ant's in trouble. They didn't just steal 2 games in Denver.
I want them to win. I want them to win.
You didn't steal 2 games in Denver.
I want them to win so you can see SGA bust Ant's ass. I want that. I don't know if this Timberwolves team is going to win because they're playing the defending NBA champs with the best player in the world on their team and Nikola Jokic. So and Rudy Gobert is not that good. So how come when you say that it's okay, but when I say I literally just said he's not a top 10 all-time defender, you threw a hissy fit.
No, I just said you were wrong because the accolades at some point. Because I could say he stinks, but I can also understand the accolades don't allow you to have that conversation.
Is everyone listening to this? The accolades
don't allow you to have that conversation. Again, I can shit on him because we're both French. And it's like when you have your little sibling and you bully your little sibling,
Did you say you're both
I can
French?
bully my sibling. Yeah, we're both French. Let me tell you a story about where my mom is from. My grandmother was born in France. World War II, medic for the military in France, put the first cross on the first hospital in France during the war. Major award. So that means my mother is French. It's not cap. I will make a phone. That's 12. I will not make a phone call because it is so late. If my mother is half French, then that means I am French. I am the same amount of French as I am Puerto Rican.
And Puerto Ricans always want to act exotic.
I am the same amount French as I am Puerto Rican. I'm the same amount French as I am Dominican.
Bang, bang, bang.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Motherfuckers always do this to me. It's because you guys don't know what it's like to have a mixed friend. You guys are all just like, oh, I'm just Nigerian. Oh, I'm just this. No, you guys don't know what it's like to be fucking mixed.
You are.
I am literally French.
You pick and choose when you are whatever you are that day.
That is the blessing of being a mixed person. When
you sure it's a blessing? Ask Logic. Sheesh. He seems to complain about it all the time.
Is black and white. I am 3 different types of Spanish and a French. So, like, different. I can claim whatever the fuck I want. World Cup time, I'm either Spain or France. Depends on who's moving along. The other side gets ditched. World Baseball Classic, Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic. Whoever gets ditched, I hop on the train.
World Cup because that is cap if I've ever seen it. Oh, I'm rooting for France. Why? Because I am French. Stop it.
But you know what? But I have to side with Dylan on this one. Like the World Cup, that's the only time when it's cool to root for multiple teams.
It's cool
in my opinion. Because for me, like I have 2 teams. I have USA and I have Nigeria. You know, those are the 2 teams right there for me. Yeah.
But why is he Nigerian and I'm not French?
Anthony, can you answer that question?
Why is he? What's
the
exactly
difference
my
between you and he is?
Why are you Nigerian and I'm not French?
Hey, I didn't say it, dude. You didn't. It didn't come out of my mouth.
No. Mike, why is he Nigerian and I'm not French?
You are 7% French.
I am 25% French.
7% French.
My grandmother, Solange Allenda, is this fucking blonde hair, blue-eyed French woman, born in France. My grandfather, Oscar Allenda, was born in Spain. Like, what are we doing here?
What are your parents?
My mother is French and Spanish. My father is Puerto Rican and Dominican. That, like... So my mom is half and half, and my dad is half and half. Listen, since I'm all over the fucking place, that's gonna be a fucking wild one.
He said, "Push your ancestry DNA credentials."
Wild one. It's gonna pop up with fucking like a shit ton of fucking Taino Indian on it. I'll tell you that much. It's been because my father's Puerto Rican side of the family comes directly from the Canary Islands, which is also Spain. So, like, what are we doing? I know where my family comes from. Literally, my grandmother is literally French from France. That bitch used to fucking get so mad when Canadians would speak French and say that they were French. Be like, you're not French, you're fucking Canadian. Shut the fuck up.
Well, Canadians and French people, there's a simmering beef with them.
And why do I know that? Firsthand.
Why do I know that?
Mike, you're Dominican.
We went from talking about the playoffs to ancestry.
I'm a quarter Dominican. Because he's half. If he's half Dominican, divide that in half, that's 25% Dominican.
So, like I said, 7%.
How? How is that 7? Like, your math just doesn't math. Just because you're saying math doesn't mean it's correct math. It's just wrong. Kylian Mbappe is leaving PSG. More French people. Is he French?
I don't.
Is Victor Wembanyama French?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, he is.
Because his parents are from there.
His parents?
Yeah, his parents.
Are his parents from France? Want to try again?
Where is his parents from?
I think he is also like Nigerian or somewhere. He's somewhere like in Africa that migrated to France.
He said he's somewhere in Africa.
Somewhere in Africa.
I mean, he was.
Let me see.
His parents.
Because Wembanyama is not a French name.
Oh, we're gonna solve.
His father is Congolese, so he's African, and I think he's half, actually.
Because Wembanyama is not a French name. Gobert, that's a French name, but he's also like African. Just like Giannis
he's biracial. He's black and white.
So then is he French, Mike?
I mean, legally he is. That's where he was born.
Yeah,
just like,
he's French.
Just like Giannis
and raised.
is Greek by way of Nigeria.
Yeah, Giannis is Greek and Nigerian.
He's Greek because he was born there, but he's Nigerian by blood. So is he really Greek?
Yes.
Yes, that's who raised him.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
That's who raised him.
Wait, I mean, no, he was raised there, so he is Greek.
He don't claim them.
He don't claim them?
Nigeria.
He claims Nigeria.
It's convenient.
Well, he just recently claimed Nigeria. That bastard. That man finally went to Nigeria for the first time this fucking year.
I have his Nigerian basketball sneakers.
It's inconvenient for him.
He's been talking about Nigeria for like 5 years. I have the Nigerian sneakers. Giannis' Nigerian sneakers. They're in my car.
So while we have a little bit of time, because Anthony was so ready for this topic, he was locked in. Side note, me and Anthony went to watch the game together at Buffalo Wild Wings. We were also watching his girl, Caitlin Clark.
Put up a nothing burger.
20 points, 3 assists.
10 turnovers.
And her debut against one of the top defenses in the league.
10 turnovers.
10 turnovers.
And Twitter was roasting her.
Mind you, she scored 7 in the fourth. So,
Mike,
take off that
Anthony loves to
talk about including a beautiful step back 3,
which is
an offensive foul. But it was a good thing.
Highlight they showing of her
great step back.
She got clamped up tonight.
She did. No, Anthony loves to run to Twitter after games to try to validate what he says, but has conveniently been quiet about what Twitter has been doing to Caitlin Clark.
Well, to be fair, I drove home and then hopped on live, so I didn't get a chance to check out Twitter.
Twitter has not been kind to her. I posted in the group chat the first 8 comments underneath the Bleacher Report with her stat line, and everybody was 10 turnovers. Everybody 10 turnovers is bad. I don't care how many points you scored. 10 turnovers is awful. What a move by Jokic on that fucking fraud Gobert.
Here's the problem, Dylan. That's just people who are just trying to nitpick. And I'm gonna tell you why. Wait. Hold on.
I want to
listen, Dylan. When you turn on TV. When you turn on the TV, what sports commercials are you seeing every 5 minutes? When you go on the internet, You're seeing the WNBA talking about charter flights. When you're seeing the WNBA talking about having to get bigger venues, bigger capacity. Where is all this coming from? It's the Caitlin Clark effect. And who do you think is really soaking up this Caitlin Clark shit? It's not necessarily Clark. It's all the opposing teams. And they are trying to go for that woman's head. Not just them, but also fans too as well. People are going to try and rip apart anything they can from her. They're going to have her under a fucking magnifying lens. They're going to skip past the part where she led the team in points and assists. But no, we're just not going to talk about that. We're just going to zero in on it. Yes, Dylan. Yes. Don't give me that. She led the team in points and assists.
Finish and I'll just
her first game against one of the best teams in the league on the road. You led the team in points and assists. But let's look over that and just focus on the 10 turnovers. I get it, Dylan. You and the rest of these haters want to, put her under a magnifying lens unjustly. It's her first freaking game. Let her live. And still she dominated, in my opinion. But that's you believe what you want to believe, man. At the end of the day, this is a first game. That just tells me by the end of this year, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, buddy.
Are you done?
If she's doing this in her first game, it's a wrap, bro.
Are you done?
I am absolutely positively done.
Cool. She lost by 21. Like, that's the first.
Did she lose by 21? The team lose by 21.
Is she on the team? Is she on the team?
The team, is she the only person on the court? Is she the only person on the court?
Is she on the team?
Is she the only person on the court? Is she the only person on the court? You can't say she lost by 21 when there's 4 other people playing on the court.
The way you were talking about her, she was the only one on the court. So, yeah, she lost by 21.
No, just because I said she led the team in points and assists, that doesn't mean she was the only person on the court.
Assists and turnovers, one. She shot under 40% from the field. She was getting clamped up and down the fucking court. They knew exactly what
still led the team in points.
Half. Again, you led the team in points and you lost by 21.
But you keep talking about you got clamped up, but she still led the team in points.
She scored 6 of her last 9 on open shots.
Okay, she still hit them. She still hit them.
They let her score. The game was over.
So you're not going to mention. You're not going to mention the one where she had someone all up in her face and still clamped the 3.
I said 6.
But let's only focus on the open shots.
I said 6 out of 9. If you knew how to listen as well as you know how to fucking reply,
I do. I heard what you said, but you're doing that thing where you just want to skip past. You just want to skip past all the good things she did and only focus on the bad shit.
What good did she actually do? That's the problem here. If she didn't turn over the ball.
Wait, Dylan, let me say this one more time.
I gave you your time to fucking talk, right? Let me get mine.
Hating.
Good.
I wish I had salt in my house right now. I wish I had salt.
Are we going to let me talk?
Or yes, what? You can talk.
Okay, cool. If she was good, why didn't they win?
Oh my God. That is a terrible.
No, if she did so much good, why didn't they win? She was a -9. She was single-handedly responsible for 20 points on her own because of the turnovers turning into transition points. So you could say if she turns over the ball not 10 times, they probably win that game.
Dylan, what do the other people do on the team? What do their teammates do?
I mean, it really doesn't make a difference when you're giving the
ball. No. What did her teammates do, Dylan? Because I'll acknowledge that she had the 10 turnovers. I'm not going to skip past that. But I'm also going to acknowledge the fact that she led the team in points and assists in her first game.
But
so what did her teammates do?
I'm blowing over the good. You're blowing over the bad.
You don't even mention the good. You don't even mention the good.
You lost by 21.
But you keep mentioning
30% from the field. You turned over the ball 10 times. You had to sit out.
But Dylan, you're taking a team-based issue and putting it on Caitlin Clark. You can't say, "Oh, well, Caitlin Clark lost by 21." That makes no sense. The team lost by 21.
The team lost by 21, and how many turnovers did Caitlin Clark have?
She had 10 turnovers.
10. How many of those turnovers turned into transition points?
I am not saying that 10 turnovers is good.
All of them turned into transition points.
10 turnovers is bad.
10 times 2. What is 10 times 2?
That's 20. which was the amount of points you scored.
If she doesn't turn over the ball 10 times, they probably win the game. It's as
Not
easy
really.
as
They were
that.
getting blown out.
They lost by 21. We've just confirmed that 10 times 2 is 20. We're right
But that's
there.
making the assumption that those turnovers would have all been points.
They did,
That's
though.
a- that's
They
a-
were points. That's the problem.
I'm talking about that. No, I'm talking about what you're saying is you're making the assumption that if she didn't turn over the ball those many times, that they would have all led to Indiana points. That's a huge assumption to make.
Well, the Sun had 14 points off turnovers. So there you go. 14 off of turnovers.
So I will be fair. I've also said in the group chat many a time tonight, which you keep ignoring, I said Caitlin Clark will be fine, right? She will be fine. She cannot play like this. If she plays like this, the Fever will not win games.
They're not even going to make the playoffs.
They will not win 10 games if they play like this as a team. But you also can't be the best player on the team and turn over the ball 10 times. I gave Jokic shit in game 2 for having 9 turnovers. You can't have that many turnovers.
Yeah, but you know the difference is? We're talking about her first regular season game, Dylan.
But I don't care.
We're talking about her first regular season game, Dylan.
We're moving the goalpost with her all day today.
How is that moving the goalpost?
History.
Wait. Weren't you constantly talking about?
If we're gonna sit here,
weren't you constantly talking about how she has to acquiesce to the WNBA? Weren't you constantly saying she has to acquiesce? She has to adjust. She's in a different stratosphere now.
Saying that, you told me it doesn't fucking matter that she's going to fucking dominate. You can't dominate without winning. The thing about the WNBA is you brought up the chartered flights. Oh, they're only do that because of Caitlin Clark. They've been trying to do that for years, and the league hasn't been able to do it because they don't turn a profit. If Caitlin Clark is on every primetime game and they lose, and they consistently lose, you're not going to get viewership, which means you're not going to get money, and you're going to continue to operate in the red, and the NBA is going to continue to have to come and save you, right?
Meanwhile, the best player in the league, Asia Wilson, had 30 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks in a win. Just throwing that out there. Throwing that out there.
Like, this is not just, like, there's ballers in this league.
That's why she's the best player in the league.
It's not fair to the league to have Caitlin Clark, a rookie, come in here and get all the shine and attention and then not expect the expectations when there are girls who are significantly better than her in this league. That's disrespectful to the girls and the women who play.
What I said earlier today, Anthony. What did I say earlier today?
Yeah, but Dylan, wait, hold on.
Has she ever played anyone as good as Olivia?
But Dylan, but here's what I think you two are missing something. You guys are looking at this from a talent standpoint. You're not necessarily taking in the box office perspective. Caitlin Clark is box office. Is she the best? No, obviously there are players better than her, but she is marketable. She is box office. That's why you see her on every commercial.
That I made, where I said it doesn't matter how good she is. The eyes will slowly go off the product if they lose. Because you already can't get people to watch the WNBA. They're not going to be watching the WNBA if they're getting waxed. And again, the Fever aren't a good team. I don't care that they have Aaliyah Boston on it. The Fever are not a good team. And if she comes in there and she has a tougher time adjusting because everybody is going to be going at her head, again, I think she's going to be fine. But if they're going to lose, and they're going to lose in the fashion that they lost tonight consistently, you are going to lose the eyes that you have on the WNBA because they're not going to care anymore.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with that. Like, definitely there is a burden of performance on her and that team because they can't just stink up the joint and then expect the viewership to be where it's at and to fill those capacity crowds. So, no, I definitely do agree with that. I personally think it's not going to happen where they're just going to just fall through the wayside. I think Caitlin Clark will put up these type of numbers on a daily basis. Well, minus the 10 turnovers,
I was about to
obviously.
say we need to really
Yeah,
reel
no,
in.
no. Everybody knows that the 10 turnovers is clearly
Here's the
unacceptable.
problem.
You can't
You
do
get
that.
mad at me
But
when I say that
but the difference is, I also recognize it's the first game.
She's going to pick up this team and she's going to do this. But when I say,
But I also recognize it's her first game too, so I think I'm more forgiving of her having 10 turnovers, than other people who just want to criticize her just because she's Caitlin Clark.
If Wemby would have came in and had 10 turnovers the first game, I would have said the same thing.
Well, yeah, you do the same thing with Wemby too.
But the thing is, I actually really like Wemby. I was the first person in here on the Wemby train, so I don't want to hear none of that. Like, I was the first person hopped on that, and then once you hopped on, I was like, fuck, it's over. The problem is, I know Caitlin Clark is good. I know what she's good at. I know what she's bad at. I don't like that she's getting treated like a queen off rip when she hasn't done anything. That's what my problem with Wemby is. Where you treat Wemby like he's already a god and like he hasn't done shit to be earning that. He has no sweat in this game. She has no sweat in this game.
You don't even think after Wemby's season he still has no sweat?
No.
They won 14 games.
21.
But again,
games. 21. He can't.
Why are we doing this thing? Why are we doing this thing where I'm mentioning individual players and their accolades and what they do?
Because
and then we're doing this
on the team, regardless of what he was doing. He was a net negative.
He cannot be as impactful as you're saying, Anthony, and then them win 21 games. That does not make sense.
Are we not going to act like for a large portion of the Spurs season, and you even heard this from Charles and many sports analysts, that those players were young, immature, not getting him the ball when they needed to, being too greedy out there, and they needed veteran leadership. You have heard those sentiments echoed about that Spurs team all throughout the whole season. So it's much more than just a plus minus and yada, yada, yada at the end of the day. There is a lot more context to that at the end of the day.
Leadership doesn't exist in the NBA anymore, so we need to cut that shit out right off rip. Because if veteran leadership existed, these young teams that are in just purgatory hell wouldn't be in hell consistently as they are. The veteran leadership turns into the rookie guys that you draft, and they just are on the team a lot, and they just are tired of losing. That's what veteran leadership turns into. That's why you keep putting these young boys together, and then nothing fucking changes. Nothing changes because the organizations don't do it.
A veteran leader in this league right now. Kyrie, I believe, is 30 years old, and he's a veteran leader.
He's 32.
Like, they don't, like, you don't have your Jarrett Dudleys anymore. You don't have your fucking Sam Mitchells anymore. You don't have your Tim Thomases anymore. They don't exist.
So Mike Conley doesn't exist. Kyle Lowry doesn't exist. Chris Paul's still not playing.
Dying breed.
Chris Paul.
But there are still veteran Warriors. No, I'm talking about just veteran leaders in general. There are still players who are veteran leaders. I just named 3 just now.
Your veteran leaders aren't your guys who play on a consistent basis. They're the guys who teach you how to be pros who don't play. There's not think about all the veteran leaders that are in this league. They are on championship teams in a veteran system with veteran players who have been in the league for a while. Take a look at this Denver Nuggets team. There are like 4 veteran players on the bench that don't even play, who are just sitting there just being vets to guys who aren't even young, to guys who have been in the league forever. Who's the veteran leadership in Charlotte?
None. It doesn't exist.
None.
No.
Who's the veteran leadership in Toronto?
Doesn't exist.
None. It doesn't exist. The veteran leader in Houston just got there, Fred VanVleet, and they still can't figure that out because he's not a real veteran leader because he's still like 25.
Well, to be fair, Houston had a way better season this year than last year.
It's not because of him. It's not because of veteran leaders. Because they got a decent head coach. But again, the veteran leader in the room is Dylan Brooks. That's who we want teaching guys to be pros?
Fuck no.
No, exactly. So like this idea, like the veteran leaders died 4 years ago. They don't exist anymore because they'd rather have a young guy on the roster who could potentially play than keeping an old guy on the team who can help. Udonis Haslem, dying breed, gone. They literally kept him on the team for 2 years to not play to just help these guys. That shit doesn't exist. So for that, like, that's a 15, 20-year-old mentality to have. That doesn't exist anymore. So if you're going to come in here and be a rookie and have pomp and circumstance, I need you to carry yourself the way Ja did. I need you to carry yourself the way Trae Young did. I need you to carry yourself the way Luka Doncic did. I need you to carry yourself the way Paolo did. I need you to carry yourself the way, I don't know, Evan Mobley did, Cade Cunningham did. Like, guys who are ready to be pros off rip. That's what I expect, and then immediate impact on the team. Granted, Cade's in a weird situation where he's just like kind of floating away, even though he's great. But everybody else I mentioned had John Morant, rookie, off rip was fantastic. Carried that team. Absolutely carried that team. Was a major impact. Who was the veteran leader on that team? I'll tell you who it was. It was Jonas Valanciunas, and he was hurt. So he wasn't with the team.
That's why they went and got Steven Adams.
That's why they went and got Steven Adams. And then he got hurt. And they needed him to be an adult in the room because everything shit the bed when there wasn't an adult in the room.
Turned into Doug Morant overnight.
We can't do, like, I watched Ja do it. I watched Luka do it. I watched all these guys do it with similar help. Because what was any of the... Jaren Jackson kind of just became Jaren Jackson. He wasn't this great player when he was there. He kind of became it, and they're still giving him blocks today. Desmond Bane was also like a rookie. Dylan Brooks was some bum who was a 3-and-D guy. They just happened.
I mean, he still kind of is.
Luka goes into Dallas. They had inconsistent Tim Hardaway and then Kristaps Porzingis, who sucked.
He's still inconsistent, Tim Hardaway.
and he was battling against the Clippers in the first round by himself, just praying for Porzingis to do something.
Cooking it. Well, then Porzingis got hurt, though. Porzingis did get hurt.
And when he was healthy, he didn't do anything.
I mean, he played 2 games, Dylan.
And did he do anything in those 2 games?
One of those games, he had 30. He had 30.
And the other game, he had like 12.
And then he got hurt. So I don't know what you want.
Inconsistent. And Luka was the driving force on that. So excuse me for having the same expectation for Wemby that I do other rookies that came into similar situations. Except he has arguably the greatest coach of all time. So I definitely expected more.
And just like Wemby, the fix is in.
I think you're giving his teammates too much credit.
The narrative is already in. Caitlin Clark has already won. Now she get 10 turnovers a game. She ain't gonna win Rookie of the Year. But
they want to give her that award.
Breathe, and she's gonna win Rookie.
No, I don't think the WNBA is gonna do that. I don't think the WNBA is gonna do that.
Really?
No, you're right, Dylan. Because she's gonna win because she's gonna be the most talented rookie. That's why she's gonna win Rookie of the Year.
I think the WNBA, the players have a little bit more of a kind of control over the WNBA than we think. And I think the organizations are going to sit there and be like, we have better players than just Caitlin Clark. So they're going to try to push somebody else, but I don't know what rookie is going to have the green light that she has. So she's going to earn it. They're not going to just give it to her. She's going to earn it. The way Wemby earned it. Again, your idea for Rookie of the Year is not who's the best rookie. It's who's the most impactful rookie, and that's not what the award is.
Are we sure he's better than Chet? Are we sure?
Yes, I'm very sure that Wemby is better than Chet. We could go through and see their head-to-heads. I'm very positive that he's better than Chet. Is Chet on the better team? Yes. But again, what's Rookie of the Year? The better rookie stat-wise, or is it the rookie who is more important on a winning team?
No, you had it. Championship team. You can say it. It's
They're not. Are they a championship team? Did they win?
Not yet.
Again, they're not going to win. So,
not yet.
Again, we need to reevaluate.
You still picking them over Denver?
I am still picking them over
And that's
Denver.
crazy that you think that this Thunder team could be Denver. That's insane to me. Because Jokic is going to destroy Chet. He's going to destroy him. The way he did every single time they played. He's going to eviscerate Chet into nothingness. Like, why are we going to sit here and act like Nikola Jokic, who is the best player in the world, who has 100 pounds on Chet, isn't just going to back him down until he's behind the backboard and just easy 2 points every time? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Knicks and Sace is not in here. That's surprising. I thought he would be the first one in here tonight.
Wemby will be fine.
Yes.
Caitlin Clark will be fine. That Fever team stinks. And Caitlin Clark's going to have a lot of nothing burgers.
And that Connecticut team is really good. Again, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals for a reason. And gave the Liberty all they could handle.
Mm-hmm.
Had me and Dylan sweat. Had us nervous. But
Clark will be fine. But she's going to have a lot of nothing.
She got clamped up tonight. You can say what you want. She got clamped up tonight.
Yeah, 20 point. Like, yeah, she scored 20 points. That's cool. But like, she had a bad first half. And again, very bad first half.
She scored 7 in the fourth. If she does not score, she had 11. She had 13 points going into the fourth quarter with like 8 turnovers. Like, she was having a horrible game.
She was having a hard time. She did not have a good day.
Horrible game. And then the Sun were up 20. And this is how you know Anthony's capping, because we were watching the game and we saw them switch this other girl on Caitlin, and she hit 2 straight threes. And I was like, what are we doing? Like, I know y'all are up 20, but what are we doing? She hit 2 straight threes. They switched again. She didn't score again the rest of the game. Like,
again, I just don't understand why they are letting her go left.
Well, that didn't happen tonight.
They let her go left. In the fourth quarter, she went left the whole fourth
on that
quarter.
other girl. On that other.
Why? Like, she literally can't pull up right. She physically cannot pull up right because she pulls the ball from the left side of her face. She can't pull up right. So why are we making her go left? Listen, I don't think Caitlin Clark has been a part of a team where she got kind of fucked up the way she did today. Like, yeah, cool, you got your 20, but like, you had a hard day at the office.
She knows what happened.
You had a hard
Caitlin Clark getting a pep talk caught on tape is crazy.
Yeah, but no. At halftime, Aaliyah Boston was like, yo, it's okay.
I thought that was dope. I don't think that was crap. I thought that was dope. Yeah.
That was Aaliyah Boston being a great teammate. And as I tell you, Anthony, Aaliyah Boston is the best player on that team.
If she's the best player on that team, she needs to be better.
Yeah, for now.
She was dog shit.
Dylan, she scored the first 2 baskets easy, and then I didn't see her touch the ball again, which is also Caitlin Clark's fault because she's the point guard. But we're not going to nitpick. We're not.
Whoa, come on, Mike.
Because again,
come
Caitlin
on.
Clark's not
Are
picking
we
the
doing
plays
this
they're
right
running.
now? Are we
Caitlin Clark's
Come on, Mike.
they're running. That's a lot.
Did you really just put that all on Clark?
This right now.
That's a lot.
So we're not moving. So we're moving the goalpost. Then is she the?
That is moving the goalpost, Mike. That's moving the goalpost.
Is she the?
You just blamed the whole game on Clark.
I didn't blame the whole game. I'm saying Aaliyah Boston, to me, is the best player on that team. And at worst, even if you disagree, at worst, she's the second or third best player on the team, which is ridiculous. But at worst, she's one of the 3 best players on the team. She scored her first 2 baskets and did not take another shot until the third quarter. That is inexcusable. And if you're the point guard of the team, you have to feel that, and you have to get her the ball. Regardless of what coach is calling, get her the ball.
She's a rookie. You're not going to sit there and be like, fuck you, coach. I'm not doing that.
Your basketball IQ has got to tell you.
That's Rondo. You're not going to expect her to be like, hey, fuck you, coach. We need to get Leah Boston the ball. You're just going to sit there and you're going to do what the coach tells you to do. Right? That's exactly what happened.
So then tonight is a coaching decision.
It's both. Like, Caitlin Clark didn't help in the loss.
Because that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm saying she deserves blame in that. She
deserves blame for the shit that she did.
To me, you can't be the point guard and not get your best player the ball. Like, that doesn't make sense.
But at the same time, if the coach is telling you what to call and the coach isn't trying to get your best player the ball.
But so you're telling me that she didn't call any plays for Leah Boston for a quarter and a half?
I will not say that for sure because I don't know, but it may have seemed that way.
We have Boston at 4 points.
Yeah, I was gonna say she scored her 2 points and then didn't do anything else. But again, it's a mixture of
Clark
everything.
had 20, and the closest person was Smith with what's her face?
It's a
Yeah,
mix
with
of
13.
like we can't speak that for sure, but again, the rookie point guard's doing what the coach tells you to do.
I just find it hard to believe that
But that's what you do.
did not call one play for Leah Boston for a quarter and a half.
Also, you drafted the Golden Goose. You're gonna let her do whatever the fuck she wants.
Silly. She can't shoot every time.
Yes, she can.
How well did that work out for her, Anthony? Did they win?
It's the first. Oh my god! I'm just gonna keep saying it's the first game.
Okay.
Again,
All right.
if
Hey,
it's
let's
the
just
first
say,
game, here's
it's
the thing.
cool.
Listen, Mike pointed it out earlier today. Listen, Dylan, Mike pointed this out to me earlier today. Look at the schedule for the next couple weeks. They're on fucking prime time like every night.
It's murder's row. It's
murderers row.
Like,
They play the Liberty in like 3 days.
I'm not even being a hater when I say they literally could go 1-6, 1-7, or lose every game. Like, I'm not even they could legit lose every game for like the first 7 games. Like, they have to play the Liberty and the Sun, as I was telling Anthony, 4 times in their first 5 games. That makes no sense. Like,
I mean, there's only 8 teams.
But Dylan, you can't stretch that. Like, you gotta stretch that out. I was telling him, how do you play the 2 teams that were in the conference finals 4 times in your first 5 games, just back and forth with the 2 of them? Like,
It was Caitlin Clark.
that's crazy. That's a hard sell.
A lot of expectation to put on somebody
because
They want to throw it to the Wolves.
As much like, she's going to play better against the Liberty, but the Liberty play defense just like Connecticut do. And she's not going to go off against the Liberty either.
And Sabrina will cook. Sabrina will cook her.
Sabrina's going to make her run because she's going to have to chase Sabrina around.
She can be better than Sabrina, but she don't have skin in the game yet. Sabrina does.
Sabrina is better than her right now, Anthony.
Right now, Caitlin Clark has the ability to be great.
He has
but right now, Sabrina's better than
Sabrina's
her.
better than her.
Sabrina's right now.
I gotta look at the Fever schedule.
Sabrina,
they play tomorrow. I believe, right?
Sabrina can get her shot wherever she wants. Caitlin Clark can't go right. Until Caitlin Clark can show me that she can go right consistently and like pull up for her jump shot, there's a lot of girls she's not better than.
Anthony, she would not.
Okay, so they have the Liberty at home. They have their home opener against the Liberty tomorrow.
Like,
I'm almost tempted to make a bet that she's gonna have more points than Sabrina tomorrow.
She probably will because the Liberty have 4 other superstars on the team. So, like, what are we doing? Like, she can have more points, but the Liberty are probably going to win by 20. So it doesn't make a difference.
The Liberty are absolutely going to win that game by 20 because they have nothing for Stewie.
Nothing for, Stewie had 8 points today. They don't have nothing for John Cole Jones.
They have like, Anthony, I don't know if you realize this, but the Liberty absolutely have a super team. Like, super team. Like, it doesn't make sense.
The Liberty and the Aces have.
They have a super team, and the Fever have a Clark. I'm gonna stand by that.
Anthony,
what did Caitlin Clark do against a team that is not as good as the Liberty?
3 packs of Gatorade.
Still one of the best teams in the league.
Liberty by
the Connecticut Sun.
I'll give you.
You said what?
Points. I'll give you 10 points and 3 packs. I'll give you 10 points. I'll give you 10
I'll just do straight
right
up
now.
3 packs.
You said. Wait, what's the bet again? So 3 packs what?
Gatorade.
3 packs of Gatorade that they lose tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah. Caitlin Clark not beating a super team. Caitlin Clark couldn't beat South Carolina by herself. What makes you think she's going to beat an actual WNBA super team?
Jockwell Jones,
Sabrina Ionescu, fucking Courtney Vandersloot. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? This bitch couldn't beat South Carolina.
Hey. Clayton Clark is a lot of things.
Hey, but you want her to think she can beat the fucking Liberty? Get out of here. That's crazy.
I hope so too. I hope
so too. Yeah.
Nonsense.
You know, we got.
I know one thing, Dylan. Remember when I said they was in trouble? They look like they're in trouble.
It's Denver's, the defending champion, best basketball team player in the world.
Oh, so are they in trouble? Are they in trouble?
Are they hurt? Again, I didn't. Anthony said it was going to be Timberwolves in 6. I said I don't know because I have a hard time betting against
You did
Denver.
say that. You need Minnesota to start cooking.
I have a hard time betting against this Denver team.
To be fair, nobody on the planet predicted them losing their first 2 games at home. So, also nobody predicted them winning the next 2 games on the road either.
I could have absolutely told you they were going to beat Minnesota after they won Game 3. I could have absolutely.
Well, no, but that's one thing. But for them to be like, okay, well, they're going to win both games on the road, like I would have been like, okay, maybe they could take one. I didn't think they were going to take both those games in Minnesota. Like that was just.
We didn't
insane.
think the Wolves were going to take both games in Denver.
Yeah, this game is. I mean, there's 7 minutes left, but this game is.
I have a hard time picking anybody against this Denver team. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know if the Thunder can take down this Denver team, dog. I don't see it.
This Thunder
I love the Thunder
against the Mavs, and the Mavs don't have like a full starting 5 guys.
Joker gonna dunk. He dunked the ball. Joker dunked the ball.
Like I like the Thunder. I like SGA. I like Lou Dort. I like Pilgrim, but it's just against that Denver team, it's just too much experience on one side. Like
championship DNA, and the Thunder just don't have it yet.
Can I just drop this bomb because Joker dunked the ball? He dunked the ball. Y'all not as excited as I am, but I've never seen that man jump more than 2 feet in the air.
Don't worry, he still only got like 4 inches off the ground. So, but like the Thunder still have to beat Dallas. Like that series is not over.
No, it's not. I'm more concerned about that series than I am about Minnesota.
Well, you won't have to worry about Minnesota because they're going to probably be playing the winner of that OKC Dallas series is probably playing Denver.
Well, we'll see. And
because again, Denver is the defending champs, best player in the world. Jamal Murray's really good at basketball. Yada yada yada.
Aaron Gordon has Kobe-like games every now and then.
Again, I said it last year during their playoff run. Aaron Gordon has the ability to score 40 on any given night. He doesn't need to, but he has the ability to do it.
Even the most random games where he'll be like 11 for 11, 30 points.
40 in like Game 3 of the NBA Finals last year.
Yeah, some wild shit like
that.
And I was like, look at me.
It wasn't just not you, Anthony, but it wasn't just Ant-Man getting cocky. All of the media was just bowing down. The torch has been passed. He's the best thing we've ever seen since Jordan.
Yeah,
blah,
they
blah, blah,
can't
blah,
blah. Well, to be fair, it's not like he didn't go off in those games in Minnesota.
Like this is his first real playoff run. And like both things can be true.
It's been phenomenal.
He can be the best shooting guard in basketball, and that could be fine because he's playing just like it, right? It's fine. But you can't just start comparing a guy to Michael Jordan. Like
they just do that because he looks like him. That's really what it is.
By the way, my statement still stands.
What?
He's not better than Shai. He's not.
Because Shai has 2 games won, and so does Anthony Edwards.
I said Ja Morant.
Ja.
He's not better than him.
Why isn't he better than Ja?
We've already
gone through this, and you have not said anything that tells me that Ja Morant is better.
Ja is a more dominant player than he is.
By what? Like by what metric? By what? By what eye test? By what? Because I just don't understand. Watching them. I watch Anthony Edwards get whatever shot he wants whenever he wants. I watch Ja shoot the occasional open 3-pointer.
He won tonight.
Shit happens. People have off nights. I've seen Ja Morant score fucking 8 points in a game. Like, what are we doing?
It's always a move of the guards.
Again, but like we're just here and act like I can't just go and pull Ja Morant having an awful game. Like, what are we doing?
Someone out there agrees with someone out there agrees with me. I don't know. Because he's not better than either one of them.
He's not. But that doesn't mean he's not the best shooting guard in basketball.
It's not what I said.
But like he's better than Ja.
Not
Ja
better
has
than
done. Ja gets his shots, attacking the basket, floater, occasional open three. Anthony Edwards has a better bag than him, is a better defender than him, is a better player than him.
He's a better player than him.
I just said Anthony Edwards is a better player than Ja. Like, I don't know what metric you need to see. I could just tell you by the amount of playoff series that Anthony Edwards has won.
We went through this too.
And right now, Anthony Edwards has more playoff wins than Ja Morant does. And
By
Ja Morant has
one
been in
game.
the playoffs.
By
Is it
one
more?
game. Yes.
Is it more?
It's one game.
And Ja Morant has been in the playoffs more than Anthony Edwards.
By one, he's been in the league. He won.
How many playoff appearances does Ja Morant have?
And regardless of
How many
all
playoff appearances does Ja Morant have?
3.
3.
How many does Anthony Edwards have?
2.
2.
And he still has more
And
playoff
he
wins
has
than Ja Morant.
one game more than him.
In less games played. In less games played.
How is it in less games played? They've played. I don't know if it's less games. We'd have to check.
If
And
Ja Morant has been in the
and
playoffs 3
Again,
times,
as I stated,
if Ja Morant has been in the
Morant
playoffs
beat
3
Anthony
times,
Edwards in the playoffs. That is also a fact.
great,
That
and
is
then
a
he
fact.
proceeded to lose the next
he-
series.
Did he beat Anthony Edwards?
Great, fantastic. Did he beat the team or did he beat the individual player? Did they play
I
one-on-one?
knew you was gonna.
Did they play one-on-one or did they play team basketball?
So then why are you counting team wins?
Because we're talking team, not player. Anthony Edwards, on the Timberwolves, has more playoff wins than Ja Morant in less playoff games. And
So-
how do I know that Ja Morant's been in the playoffs 3
So
times?
if you're
3
saying
times.
that, when
in
I
less
tell
games-
you that Ja beat him head to head,
Great.
you tell me it's a
Fantastic.
team game now.
Fan-
And it does, then the
Let
individual
me tell
doesn't.
you this.
Who- Which one is it?
Who cares? How about this? Who cares? Who has more playoff wins?
Cool.
Who has more playoff wins?
Again, ladies and
Who
gentlemen.
has more playoff wins?
Live.
I'm asking questions I want
Live.
answers to. I want questions. I have questions that need answers.
Anthony
Who
Edwards
has more playoff
wins.
wins?
He has more playoff wins.
Who has played in more playoff games?
Ja.
So why do I give a single fuck about a loser in the playoffs who has less wins?
Oh, he's a
than Anthony
loser in
Edwards
the
does?
playoffs now.
not?
Okay. Okay. All right, cool. That's cool.
Tell me this: who has more playoff wins?
That's cool.
Who has more playoff wins? Because last time I checked,
He has more playoff win.
playoff
More playoff
wins
win.
mean more than the head-to-head.
No, playoff
because he still
win.
has more.
Because
Because
it's not multiple. He has a playoff win more than Ja Morant. He has one more game.
is that still more?
Is it plural?
Wins as a whole, when you have wins, because you have to count wins. So if they're only playing one game, then it's win. He has a playoff win. They've played multiple playoff games, so you have to count all of the wins. I don't have to explain that to you. You don't have to sit here and act like I'm not just gonna be literal on that.
Just like I don't have to explain to you that Ja Morant beat him.
Great. He still has less playoff wins. He has carried his team to less playoff wins.
Absolute great question, huh? Great question. Great question. Marcus Smart has more playoff wins than both of them. Does that make him better than them?
Was Marcus Smart the driving force of it? No, he was not. It was Anthony Edwards the driving force of his playoff wins? Yes. So are we going to compare role players? Or are we going to compare guys who are the number one
driving
option?
force? That's what we're doing? Driving force?
Yeah, driving force.
Driving force?
Just like when I'm defending Jason Tatum being the driving force of the Boston Celtics against Anthony, like it's just conditional, like he doesn't have a
So does that
pedigree in the
make-
playoffs.
So does that make Anthony Edwards better than Jaylen Brown? Because Jaylen Brown's not the driving force, right? It's
He's
Jaylen.
better than Jaylen Brown. You want just for one reason. One reason he's better than Jaylen Brown. You want to know why he's better than Jaylen Brown? Anthony Edwards go left.
He said Anthony Edwards.
And he killed a different version of Ant-Man. He didn't kill this version of Ant-Man. He also was killing Pat Bev. So let's stop that.
He said he's
He also was killing Pat Bev.
I think you're a prisoner of the moment because you haven't seen Ja play in 2 years.
I'm not a prisoner of the moment because I love Ja. Never said Marcus Smart was. That's why I said we compare the driving force or are we comparing role players? What makes Ant-Man overrated? The fact that he was averaging, 35 plus a game and packed up the Suns and then came in and took 2 off Denver right off rip?
And was proclaimed one of
Again,
the best players
Ant-Man is not Michael Jordan by any shape, any sense of the word. He is as advertised. He is as good as we think he is. But people are overrating him in the sense where it's like compared to Michael Jordan. But he is that guy. He outplayed the best shooting guard in basketball in Devin Booker. Jaylen Brown is better. Jalen Brunson is better than Anthony Edwards. This is not we're not comparing Jalen Brunson to these guys because I will take Jalen Brunson over both of them.
Damn.
You saw that shot, Anthony?
Yeah, I did. I didn't realize he had 40. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're bringing Jalen Brunson into a conversation that doesn't involve Jalen Brunson.
But I think the argument is, by the standards that you just laid out, Jalen Brunson's the best player in the NBA.
I think he has pushed himself into the top 10.
He's having the best playoffs of anyone. That would make him the best player in the NBA then, right? He's showing he's the guy.
He's showing he is the guy, but I wouldn't take him over Jokic.
I wouldn't take him over Jokic either.
He's balling.
But what you're saying with the reasoning,
am I saying Anthony Edwards is the best player in the NBA?
No, but the reasoning
then don't do that to me.
The reasoning that you're giving for him being better than Ja, when we use that on another player, you say that's incorrect. That's why.
How am I overrating Anthony Edwards when I'm properly rating Anthony Edwards? I have not once said Anthony Edwards is the second coming of Michael Jordan. I have not once said that Anthony Edwards is a god. Saying Anthony Edwards is better than John Morant isn't far-fetched.
You think Edwards is top 5?
Top 5 player in the NBA?
Yeah.
I don't think you can answer that right now in the playoffs because we'd be prisoners of the moment. Do I think he's the best shooting guard in basketball? Yes.
That. The answer is no, he's not. I can answer that. There's no prisoner at the moment.
No, we can. I'll say no. I'll say he's not top 5 in the NBA. I'll say no. But again, with the way everything is right now, I also can't put Jalen Brunson top 5 in the NBA because that's prisoner of the moment. But I do think Jalen Brunson pushed himself into the top 10.
I would give you that.
And
I think
saying Anthony Edwards is the best shooting guard in basketball after outperforming the actual best shooting guard in basketball, not far-fetched. Not at all.
Because truth be told, you take out those first 2 games, Anthony Edwards has been the 3rd best player in this series.
DeMar DeRozan as the best shooting guard in basketball is a horrible take.
He might still be top 5 though.
Top 5, but that's a horrible. Let's go. Shy.
Okay, if you're gonna make
Booker,
I'll make Shy 2 guards. So yeah,
Shy, Booker, Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown,
4.
Trying to think what other shooting guards there are.
Don't tell me Jamal Murray because he's a point guard.
Jamal Murray's a point guard. Donovan Mitchell.
He's a point guard.
Donovan Mitchell is a shooting guard.
He's playing the 2 because Garland's there.
Garland is the point guard.
He played point in Utah though.
He didn't. Michael Conley played point in Utah.
And when Conley went to the bench, who played point?
He was primary ball handler. That's different. LeBron James point guard, or is he primary ball handler?
He plays point guard. They run lineups with him as point.
They don't though. They don't because they play lineups.
So is Austin Reeves the point guard?
D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, Spencer Dinwiddie.
They also run lineups with LeBron, Reeves, AD, Dinwiddie, who's not a point guard.
Dinwiddie is a point guard. That's the thing. Dinwiddie is a point guard. Is he a good point guard? No.
And Taurean Prince is what I was going to say.
Taurean Prince is a forward.
Taurean Prince. I don't disrespect that man. But
Is DeJounte Murray better than DeMar DeRozan?
No.
Is Zach LaVine better
No.
than DeMar DeRozan?
Hell no.
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 That is
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan's team.
Well, I'm just asking. I'm naming shooting guards because it's not a fucking shit ton. What are the Clippers?
I don't know who plays what piece of shit on that team. I don't know who plays what on that team. To be honest with you, it's just a bunch of 6'6" guys just out there running. I don't know what them dudes do. You got me there because I don't know. You can name them all shooting guards if you want.
Is Jimmy Butler a shooting guard?
I don't know what Jimmy is. I look at Jimmy as a small forward, but I don't know what Jimmy is.
I don't know. What is Cade Cunningham?
I feel like he's a point, but I get your point.
But
I get your point, but I feel like he's point guard.
What is Kyrie Irving? And what is Luka Doncic?
I think they're both point guards. Luka is listed as a small forward in 2K for some reason, but I look at both of them as point guards. Kyrie's a point guard. I don't even want to hear that. Kyrie's a point guard. Like, Kyrie's a point. You're not going to be able. I know you're not arguing. I know you're not arguing, but you can't convince me that Kyrie's a 2 guard. Like,
I mean, in Brooklyn, I could have.
I still don't think so.
I guess DeMar DeRozan's 5 by proxy because we can't define anybody else.
Still top 5. Still top 5.
It's top 5, and it's just because we can't define what Luka, Kyrie, James Harden, Paul George.
Jesus Christ!
By the way, it is a
40
final.
points, 10 assists. Sheesh.
No, he had like 13 assists.
13.
It's a final in Denver, and Minnesota is officially in trouble. Dylan.
Yeah, well, again,
they're in trouble.
This is Denver.
The series heads back to Minnesota.
They were in trouble last night when I said it.
Again, I'm not the one who picked Minnesota in this series.
Then why are you arguing with me when I said that they were in trouble?
Because you can't say a 2-2 series and a 2-2 series are like one team's in trouble and one team's not.
I explained to you why they were in trouble.
Were the Knicks in trouble?
No.
The Knicks were never in trouble going 2-2. They were never in trouble.
Context matters. Losing the
matters.
first two.
New York wasn't in trouble after getting the doors blown off them in game.
Dylan, they won 2 in a row in Minnesota and were coming home. Minnesota was in trouble. Case in point, they got blown out tonight, and they are in
New York
trouble.
went into Indiana up 2, went down after getting their ass whooped, and then had to go back, and they weren't in trouble.
All they did was
you could say a 2-2 team is in trouble in each context of the word, but that's not always true.
You're not going to tell me that the Knicks were in the same amount of trouble as Minnesota.
The Knicks just lost but outside this game, they just lost by 20-something. You could say they were in trouble. They could have, but why?
Because the Knicks were not about to be on the verge of being eliminated after tonight.
They were in trouble because they just got their asses waxed by 20, and then they were going off.
They were going home.
And
Minnesota
momentum
was
looked
going
like it was in
on
Indiana's
the road.
favor. Indiana looked like they were stealing momentum back. So yeah, they could have been in trouble. Every 2-2 team could be in trouble, but they also could not.
Minnesota
this is going into game 5. Going into game 5 when it was 2-2. When the Knicks lose by 20-something, you could say, oh, the Knicks were in trouble. That's why every New York media outlet was talking about how this could be bad. Do I believe it? No. I also told Anthony that I didn't think the Knicks would ever lose in Madison Square Garden. But again, everybody's talking about how this team was in trouble.
Conversation.
Because it doesn't 2-2 does like it's just a
you don't believe what you're saying yourself.
I do believe what I'm saying.
You just said you didn't think the Knicks were in trouble. You just said that.
They could have been in trouble. Fine.
They could still be in trouble right now.
They were in trouble.
They could be in trouble right now. They could very easily lose the next 2 games. They could be in trouble right now. You know who else could be in trouble? Boston could be in trouble. They could lose the next 3. They could be in trouble. We can just say
Boston ain't gonna be in trouble.
Like What are we
Boston's
doing?
fine.
Is Boston 2-2?
What are we
Is
doing
2-2
right now?
Is 2-2
Like,
going to be the
everyone is
litmus
in
test
trouble.
of insanity?
Denver's in trouble. They could be in trouble right now. They could be in trouble right now.
Denver could have been in trouble, but they won. But again, we pick and choose when we want 2 and 2 to matter.
You're picking and choosing when you want 2 and 2 to matter.
You are, because you established trouble with no context.
They lost 2 in a row at home and were going on the road. They were in trouble. The Knicks lost 2 in a row on the road and were going home. They were not.
But let's provide context like you like. You love
That's
context.
the context.
Here's the
That's
context.
the
They lost
context.
by 20. It wasn't just losing. They lost by 20 plus.
So the things that I
That's
just
why.
said
That's
doesn't
why.
matter. They
That's
just don't
why
matter, right?
when
It
after
doesn't
game
matter.
4, Anthony's like, oh, all the Knicks fans are coping right now. That's why all week New York Sports Radio is talking about how there's a bad feeling. It felt like New York was in trouble because they just lost game 4 going 2-2 back home after losing by 20.
To me, it felt like we were in.
You're picking and choosing when trouble matters.
I'm not. Did you hear me say the Knicks were
The Knicks weren't in trouble. The Knicks were absolutely in trouble.
Did you hear me say that?
My thing is, firstly, the reason why I felt the Knicks were in trouble, it wasn't just because of the way we lost to the Pacers in game 4. It was also the fact that we're just so banged up, losing OG and whatnot. You know, we were basically hobbled. It was very worrisome, well, at least for me personally. You know, because I'm saying to myself, man, it looks like, because I think they even had Indiana even winning tonight, actually.
Indiana was favored.
Yeah, Indiana was actually favored to win tonight, believe it or not, you know, because of just the injuries. People were saying, hey, we're just gassed out. We're running on fumes. You know, that was the narrative and whatnot. And I feel like some of that was legitimate, you know. Even now, personally, I'm not even letting my foot off the gas, but y'all know this already. I mean, personally, Game 6 is an absolute must-win. I don't want a Game 7 in Madison Square Garden because I feel like it's anyone's game at that point. Like, I don't want it to get to that point. Game 6, we absolutely have to get that.
I just don't like that we provide context to one, but then say, oh, the Knicks were never in trouble. No, the context in which the Knicks were in trouble was exactly that. That's why the media was covering it as one thing. That's why fans were covering it as one thing. Like, we can't ignore that, but then have the audacity to say, oh, well, this team's in trouble, but ignore another team being in trouble. That's my point.
Well, then that's fine. If you want to go off the narrative that's been going on, because you earlier said it's not sustainable. What the Knicks are doing is not sustainable. We don't know how the Knicks were not favored against Philly, even though they were the higher seed. They were not favored against Indiana, even though they were the higher seed. The Knicks won game 1. They were the Knicks have been the underdogs in game 2, 3, 4, and now, since you just told me, game 5. The Knicks have been the underdog in all of these games. So that is telling me that there is a narrative that this Knicks team is not good.
No, that's not what that means at all.
So why are they, the team that won 50 games, consistently being put as the underdog in these games? And then you're telling me it's not a narrative that the Knicks are not good, because
it's not a matter of the Knicks being good or not. Those words never came out of my mouth. The narrative.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying the narrative around
because you guys
team.
Are banged up to shit. What are you talking about?
So then again, if the Knicks are constantly being considered the underdog, what has changed? What has changed? Why is there content? Why are they in trouble when they just seem to be in trouble every game? What has changed?
Because they went from being involved in close games to them getting dog walked in games.
They lost because they lost one game like that. So that just put them in trouble.
It was not even it's you're ignoring how they lost. They got out.
I'm not ignoring.
We can't say, oh, it's just one game. They lost in a fashion. They lost in a fashion. They got outrun. They got outnicked
in 3 weeks.
They got outnicked. It's not like how Philly was beating them, where Philly was beating them in close games. They got outnicked, and it looked like things were starting to catch up to them. Injuries, fatigue. That's why it's like, okay, they finally lost a game like that where it looks like they ran out of gas. That could be a problem.
And then
they came back and they dog walked them. So
and then tonight looked like everything else that had happened in the playoffs.
It looked like the exact opposite of what happened in that game. But
because
who expected
it was
that,
just
though?
one game.
Nobody expected that. No, you expect them to win by 20 tonight?
I expected them to win by 20.
Exactly. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
I expected them to win tonight.
And that's fine. If they would have won, they would have won in the fashion in which we all thought they would win, in a close game. But nobody expected them to win by 20. Nobody did. But they won, and that's fine. But they came out and showed everybody that no, we weren't gassed. They just got the up on us and cool. But like going into this game, there was worries. There was danger. Danger was afoot. You're not going to say that because now with hindsight, we know what happened. Like, you can't, if you were
at no point when Anthony was crying and complaining after they lost game 4, that I was like, yeah, man, you're right. We got to watch it.
But you never will be. You're the type of fan who will never do that. Because as long as you are in the playoffs, you think you have a chance. You are not that person, Mike. Don't act like you are. You never have been. You're like that with every sport. You're like that with baseball. We could be down Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole, Juan Soto, and you're like, we still got a chance. That's who you are. You're never going to say you might not be down. You might be down.
But Minnesota's done.
No.
Listen,
I told you yesterday, Minnesota.
Well, I have to say no because I still have.
They won 2 games in Denver, and now they have to go back to Minnesota. So there's always a chance. Series isn't over.
And I expect Minnesota to play very well in Game 6.
Series isn't over. Well. So it's like, but then, if Minnesota wins Game 6 and now it's 3-3, who's in trouble now?
Denver.
What's the narrative? That's lazy. Because nobody's like Denver is the defending champs. They're never in trouble.
No,
never in trouble.
Denver would be in trouble because all the pressure would be back on them.
Yeah,
that's why and they got to play and they have a great home court. So
again, that's that we're picking and choosing when a team's in trouble. But when the Knicks are going back home after getting dog walked, they're not in trouble. But Denver potentially loses Game 6 to go. Like, I just don't understand it.
Because if the Knicks lose Game 6, then the Knicks are going to be in trouble because the Knicks will have all the pressure on them.
But they weren't in trouble going back to New York. But that's the thing. You
because
said the Knicks
won't be facing elimination. That is the difference.
Both teams will be facing elimination. It's the same. It's the same.
But the pressure will be different for both teams. The pressure will be different for both teams because the road team in both of these scenarios are not expected to win. So there will be less pressure on them. Of course, they're in trouble.
There's less pressure on the Knicks in a Game 7 in the Garden?
There will be more pressure on them.
Why?
Because they are the home team and they are the better team.
The pressure is equal. It doesn't matter. It's a 50-50 scenario. You lose, you go home.
If this Denver-Minnesota series goes 7, the pressure's equal. Denver doesn't have more pressure on them.
No, Minnesota would have more pressure because they have to go in to win in Denver. It's not. Why would Denver have more pressure playing at home?
Because they're the defending champions against a team that they're supposed to be better than.
That happens every year, Mike. Teams are supposed to be better than other teams. Miami wasn't supposed to go to the NBA Finals last year. They were the 8th seed. They were not a better team than most of the teams that they played.
When they played Boston in Game 7 last year, who had more pressure on them in that game? Miami or Boston? Don't tell me it was equal because Miami had all the pressure on them because they was about to blow 3-0.
And Miami had the most pressure because they had to win. They had to go into Boston to win.
So did Miami have more pressure?
So we're confirming exactly what I said. No, you're confirming what I just said.
Did they have more pressure because they were about to blow 3-0? Or did they have more pressure because they just had to win the game?
If we're going to apply the context to it, it's both.
Why wouldn't we apply?
It's both. They had one, they were about to blow 3-0. 2, you have to win Game 7 in Boston. There's no more pressure than winning on the enemy territory. Winning at home, there's more pressure winning at home than being the away team coming in.
So we're establishing
because you proved my point by saying that Miami had to win, that they had more pressure.
No, but
Minnesota would have to go into Denver.
I'm going to explain to you why you just proved my point because we just established in a Game 7 that one team had more pressure than the other. After you just yelled at me and said both teams had equal pressure, that is the point that I'm making.
I said
Miami had more pressure than Boston in that series.
Did I not change my statement? I said the away team has more pressure because they have to win at home. I mean, they have to win on the road. That is the more pressure.
Okay. All right. Cool. 2016. Cleveland comes back and forces Game 7 against Golden State. Who had more pressure in Game 7? Both of them? Or Golden State, who was about to do something
you
that
have
had
a lot
never
of, you have
been
these
happened
great
before?
scenarios of specific scenarios
Not great
that
scenarios.
have never.
This really happened, and I
But
can tell you who had more
how many
pressure
times
on
has
them.
that happened prior to that? You have these
None of
outlier
that
scenarios
means
where shit doesn't
anything.
happen.
None of that means anything. It's a
When was
simple
the last time a
question.
3-0
Who
series
had more
was
pressure?
blown?
Who had more pressure?
But
I'm
again,
giving
you
Game
have to pull
7s.
out these
All
outliers.
I'm doing is giving you Game 7.
You
because
have
you're
to pull out these
saying
outliers in the history of basketball. When was the last time a team came back from being down 3-1? When was the last time that happened?
My point.
When was the
remains
first time
the
it
same.
happened? No,
My
when was
point
the first
remains
time
the
it happened?
same.
Mike,
My
when
point
was the first time
remains
it
the
happened?
same.
You have to
One
pull
team
an
had more
you have to
pressure
pull
than the
out
other.
an outlier.
My point remains the
You are
same.
pulling out an outlier.
I've given you two examples.
Two outliers.
The two outliers. Okay. So
Mike,
we're
okay,
only doing
before
Game
we
7,
continue,
right?
before we
We're only doing
continue,
Game 7s?
when was the last time a team blew a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals?
Never happened before.
Never happened ever in the history of the game of basketball. By the Canadian man James Naismith has a 7-game series in the NBA Finals been blown a 3-1 lead. So you have to pull up that 1 in a million scenario, right? For that particular circumstance. Cool. When was the last time in the NBA playoffs a 3-0 lead has been almost blown?
5 times. Look it up.
Again, and that 5 times in the history of basketball.
And again.
And when Dr. James Naismith invented this game in however long in Canada, the history 5 times in over 100 years. Those are your those are your two outliers. Those are major outliers.
I can go back and do this with all the Game 7s.
But those are major outliers.
We can just go Game 7s, and I can tell you who had more pressure on them. Like we can just keep doing it. We can just keep doing it. You want another one? That's not 3-0. That's not 3-1. When Houston was up 3-2 on Golden State, and Golden State forced Game 7. Who had more pressure on them in Game 7?
Houston.
So your point is wrong. One team has more pressure than the other.
We have already established that I retracted my both teams have equal thing. Because I've said it multiple times. We've acknowledged that I've changed my stance on that.
That's all I need.
It's not both teams. Both teams don't have. It's the away team has more pressure in the Game 7. We've acknowledged that already.
I mean, I just gave you one where the home team did, but regardless.
Again, you think that I don't.
You just said
this shit gonna go in circles, man.
Houston was home. Man.
You said Houston was home?
Houston was home.
That I did not know Houston was home. Because I will pick the away team because they have to win on the road in hostile territory. And if you want to be for real, Golden State had more pressure because they were a dynasty at that time. So yeah, more pressure on them. And didn't they play without Klay Thompson and
Not
Kevin
again.
Durant?
Not again. They play without Kevin Durant.
Exactly. So more pressure on Golden State.
No pressure on Houston because they have to win because they're missing players.
More pressure on Golden State because they have to win without those players.
And then what happened? Pressure got to Houston and they started. Well, James Harden happened, but pressure happened.
Don't worry,
and
they missed 23 straight threes as a team, not as just James Harden. Let's not act like Eric Gordon
pressure
missed
happened.
9.
Pressure happened.
Great, and the team that had the pressure came and won. Again, no Kevin Durant. No Kevin Durant. Klay Thompson, Steph. You had to go in there to do that. There's no more pressure than that.
I don't even know anymore.
No, you know exactly what we're arguing about. You're just being a dick.
No, you're refusing to take a step back. That's what's happening.
I have taken a step back.
That's what's happening. Just say you got it and move on. That's all you have to
No,
say.
because you don't got it. I disagree with you.
We would have stopped 30 minutes ago.
I disagree with you.
Why
would I say you got it when I disagree with you?
Ridiculous.
Like that? No, you're ridiculous.
I'm telling you.
Imagine saying the team with the best home court advantage in the NBA has more pressure. No. That's fucking stupid.
I'm not getting into this argument with you again. We're not going on this walk again.
So stupid.
You're now thinking about it and being like, no, I'm not going to take a back step.
I never was. The one part of me saying I'm not taking a step back was I ever going to take a step back? We're arguing that the home team in a game 7 has more pressure than the away team in a game 7.
And that is not always true.
I think it's very definitive. Granted, you have your outliers of context in 2 scenarios that have happened 6 times total in over 100 years since the game has been created. Go ahead and cook, Chief. But in every other circumstance, it's insane.
I want Minnesota to win. I just want.
Are y'all done?
We are. I just want.
Are y'all done?
Because the bow on top is I want SJ to beat Anthony Edwards. Just
he has to beat Luka first.
He does, but Luka's on one leg. Luka broke. I told
Kyrie
Anthony Luka broke my heart missing that free throw. Luka broke my heart missing that free throw. But
yeah, Luka's hobbled.
Jets Titans week 2.
Is it announced?
Word on the streets.
That's not what I saw.
Week 2 is.
Well, a lot of what
I saw you guys going.
Wrong. You be feeding wrong information to the chat all the time.
I saw you guys going to Arizona week 2.
They're always great.
I have you guys going to Arizona week 2.
I don't think that's happening. I've seen that, but all the Jet insiders are saying it's Titans. And the Jet insiders that I have are rarely wrong.
Isn't week 2?
I think it makes more. I think the Arizona one makes more sense since you guys are going to be out in San Francisco.
I mean, it's not like
making the West Coast
far away from there.
But then, is it week 2 Labor Day weekend?
I believe so.
Are we going to Nashville for Labor Day weekend?
We could.
You guys stay tuned. Could be good times. We need to revenge ourselves. I must get my lick back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And according to one of these guys, it's Jets have 6 primetime games.
How many did y'all have last year? Y'all had like 5 last year.
5.
Yeah.
Too fucking many.
I mean,
before Rodgers got hurt, that is a good amount to have because Aaron Rodgers is a primetime player. Like, that's somebody you have to have on primetime games. But this is also assuming Aaron Rodgers doesn't tear his other Achilles week 1 on Monday Night Football, which I'm not mentally prepared for.
I told Anthony the worst thing that can happen is y'all get San Francisco and him coming out and you realizing that he's gone over the hill.
It would just be Dylan vilified. That's all that would happen. So, like, it's worst case scenario, but again, that's a terrible game to start off with. That's very bad.
That's not a good. That's not a. Here he comes. It's not a good.
I'll kill you, James. I'll kill you. It's a terrible week 1 to start off with.
Not good. I told Anthony that's not a good week 1 opponent for him.
It's a terrible.
Or for the Jets. I mean, that's not an easy game to start the season with.
I know against that defense,
but the irony
in their stadium.
They also have to play our defense too. So it's like,
Dylan, if Brock Purdy beats a 4th quarter comeback against your Jet defense,
that doesn't change anything. I've seen worse.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm never letting.
But again, like his comebacks are, I'm going to dump it down to Christian McCaffrey for 35 yards, and then it's like.
Okay.
It's not like he's dotting me up. It's like Christian McCaffrey just took the ball fucking 60 yards.
Okay.
Don't let it good on McCaffrey.
Don't let it happen.
Good on McCaffrey. Good on Debo for taking the 2-yard pass 45 yards. Like, that doesn't change what Purdy is. But we'll see. The rest of that offensive line, besides Trent Williams, that Niners offensive line isn't very good. And the strength of our defensive line is the interior. And new pass rusher Hassan Reddick. So that's fun. But of course you do, because you're
that would be heartbreaking.
Here.
That would be heartbreaking.
It was a fucking hard schedule.
I don't think he's sorry, though.
He's not. Sorry. Fuck him. He just
mad. I don't think he's sorry, Billy.
He's not sorry, but fuck him. No, compared to last year's schedule, this schedule is way better. Way better. I gotta play that
All right.
bum Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. Shit.
Yeah, you're gonna.
That
game's
Cardinals
interesting.
team. Shit.
Yeah, y'all will probably take the Cardinals. Well, we'll recap that when it happens. Let's get out of here. It's 1:30 in the morning. Let's get out of here. Hit the like, share, subscribe button. Hit the notification button so you know when we go live. We are on all the streaming platforms: Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Twitter, Instagram Live, YouTube. We're on everything. Find us, follow us. I will be traveling.
Fuck you, James.
I'll be traveling for Game 4, so I don't. I know, James. It's muscle memory. It's muscle memory. I got the email. It's just muscle memory at this point. I don't know if we'll have a post game live. I plan on bringing my laptop, so we'll see. But anyway, if it goes 7, we will be here Sunday afternoon for Game 7 post game live. I will find a way to get us on. Are we doing I'm him? We can do it. It's been a week. No.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh.
I think this is universal. I'm him, Jalen Brunson.
It's not universal.
Oh, he's gonna do Caitlin Clark with 10 turnovers.
Yeah.
I'm him, not I'm her.
We definitely do. I'm her also.
Yeah, but I do have an I'm him. For me, it's definitely Hartenstein. For just allowing us to have all those second chance opportunities, grabbing all those offensive rebounds, bullying all those people in the paint. He was the reason why Alec Burks went off. He was the reason why McBride got his. Why just everyone got theirs. So Alec Burks Hartenstein is definitely I'm him for me.
James is throwing in Shaq.
Shaq got bodied by Shannon after Shannon ate him up. I have a new I'm him. Shaq and Charles. They weren't there today, but they were in New York trying to pitch TNT on advertisers so NBC doesn't buy the rights to the NBA.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they're trying to do one last-ditch effort to purchase the NBA rights so NBC doesn't end inside the NBA.
Oh, wow.
So Shaq and Chuck will win.
That would be tragic if that happened.
Because Ernie can't go. Everybody else can go. Ernie can't.
Yeah. And it's not the same.
It would not be the same without Ernie.
Mike Tirico hosting is not the same.
No, and NBC like sports coverage.
It would probably be Maria Taylor, actually.
NBC sports coverage is dog shit. If we're being frank, it's terrible.
Mike Tirico is pretty amazing, but
there's
literally
no
you take him and Maria Taylor out of it, and it's not good. Not good. That's why Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart are there during the Olympics.
Because there's no life to it. It's just such a bore. So please don't let the NBA go to NBC.
Do it for all of us basketball fans.
I can't
yes, please.
Ernie Johnson not on my TV during the basketball season. Need EJ.
I'm him as Jalen Brunson for me. He's that guy. He's him. He's him. So, you join us for Knicks post game live. We appreciate it. We love you. Thank you for watching. Anthony, you know how we're gonna close it out. You know there's only one song for us to play. Put the
only one.
Out. Take it out tonight. Thank you for joining. We love you. Good night.
Look who's back in the mix, straight out of New York City. It's them
bringing the banner, not the